For anyone interested, we just recently released our very first piece of Harry Potter Theory merchandise. It features an adaptation of our favourite PS1 Gameskeeper, and links to the merch can be found just below the video. Hey everyone, welcome to another installment of Harry Potter Theory. In today's video, I'm going to be discussing the Mirror of Erised, Sirius Black, and the betrayal of the Potters. More specifically, I'm going to be discussing what alleged notorious mass murderer Sirius Black would see in the mirror. We know Sirius Black primarily as Harry's godfather and one of the Marauders, a childhood group comprised of Black, Peter Pettigrew, Remus Lupin, and James Potter. Sirius started at Hogwarts in the year 1971 and met the boys that would form the Marauders in that same year. They were a group of Gryffindors hellbent on breaking the rules at the school and were notorious for their mischief making. However, despite getting up to all kinds of trouble, they were all very magically talented. After graduating from the school, the four boys even went on to join the Order of the Phoenix in an effort to oppose the regime of Lord Voldemort. Sirius hailed from the powerful wizarding family, the Blacks, and while many of his family members placed an unreasonable amount of value on blood purity, Sirius did not share the same belief. He was an easygoing guy compared to them, and managed to avoid going down a dark path, even if he was blamed for being evil anyway. Sirius was notoriously known for his imprisonment in Azkaban prison, and spent a considerable amount of time there for crimes that he didn't actually commit. In 1981, Peter Pettigrew backstabbed the Potters by revealing their location to Lord Voldemort. He was their chosen secret keeper, and he betrayed everyone when he decided to relay that information to Lord Voldemort. However, that wasn't all he did that day. He also framed his childhood friend Sirius Black for a heinous crime. You see, after betraying the Potters, Sirius and Pettigrew had an altercation in which Pettigrew murdered 12 muggles using a dark and powerful blasting curse, simultaneously destroying hundreds of feet of sewer system and leaving a 40-foot crater in the ground. Some way, somehow, Sirius Black was blamed and was promptly sent to Azkaban. After being banished to Azkaban, seemingly the whole world turned on Sirius, even the ghost portrait of the fat lady, and he was left there to rot for an astonishing 12 years. He was eventually able to escape the Iron Fortress by turning into his animagus form, a black dog, and squeezing through the bars. At this point in time, he was able to re-establish a relationship with Harry, but still tragically lost many years of his life to prison. Sirius was a good man with good morals, and the fact that he was able to deviate from the path that members of his family traditionally took speaks to that. He was a balanced, self-aware man that even once made the wise statement, "We've all got both light and dark inside us. What matters is the part we choose to act on. That's who we really are." So what, you may ask now, would the man who suffered tragedy after tragedy see in the Mirror of Erised? Let's dive in. A brief recap on the Mirror of Erised. It's a magical mirror that shows us the deepest, most desperate desires of our hearts. This is reflected in the mirror's name, no pun intended, as Erised flipped around reads as desire. The mirror itself was made sometime before the end of the 19th century, and is located in the Room of Requirement in Hogwarts. So what is Sirius's greatest, deepest desire? What would he see? I think that if Sirius were to look into the Mirror of Erised, he would see himself with the Potters, the same night that he advised them to make Peter Pettigrew secret keeper. Except instead of recommending Pettigrew for the job, he would have been secret keeper himself. James, Lily, and Harry would all still be a family, safe and secure. Lily and James only made you secret keeper because I suggested it. I thought it was the perfect plan. Voldemort would be sure to come after me. Would never dream they'd use a weak, talentless thing like you. It must have been the finest moment of your miserable life, telling Voldemort you could hand him the Potters. You see, advising the Potters to make Pettigrew secret keeper was the biggest mistake he ever made. It was the decision that led to the murder of his best friends, and it was also the decision that ultimately landed him in Azkaban. That single false recommendation was the catalyst for an incredible amount of death, heartache, and suffering, and it was likely the only thing that Sirius could ever think about. A constant sharp pain in Sirius's conscience. In a perfect world, given the opportunity, I think that Sirius would have gone back in time to the day that he made that poor recommendation, and instead would have assumed the role of secret keeper himself. The only good thing that came from Pettigrew being Secret Keeper was that it ultimately led to Voldemort's destruction, for a time, though whether that could have been achieved with less suffering is untelling. What do you guys think Sirius Black would have seen in the Mirror of Erised? Let me know in the comment section below. Until next time, you think the dead we loved ever truly leave us?